Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I'm reading from Matthew. It is Christmas tide. And what I mean by that, it is still Christmas. And it's the 27th day of December. The 12 days of Christmas start Christmas Day. And they go for 12 days, which ends January 5th, which is the 12th night. And every single solitary day of Christmastide has an associated celebration. The second day of Christmas is St. Stephen's Day, when people bless horses. And the third day of Christmas, which is today, which is Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, is the festival of St. John. And St. John was, someone attempted to kill him with poisoned wine. So wines are blessed today. And the thing was, they attempted to poison him with poisoned wine. He drank the wine and miraculously survived. Now, as far as the song, the 12 Days of Christmas, it was invented so that people could talk about Christianity without talking about Christianity, because in the past, Christians were persecuted. So the first day of Christmas, the partridge in the pear tree, stands for Jesus Christ. The second day of Christmas, the two turtle doves, stand for the Old Testament of the Bible and the New Testament of the Bible. The New Testament. The three French hens stand for, in some traditions, love, faith, and charity. I'm sorry, I had that wrong. Hope, faith, and charity. And in other traditions stand for hope, faith, and love. So those are the three French hens from the third day of Christmas. Today I'm going to read to you and explain why there are 12 days of Christmas and why it ends on the 12th night and what happens. The 12th night is January 5th. What happens on January 6th? Because people who have nativity sets often will put Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus with these guys. The wise guys, the wise men. But you know what? These three guys, these wise guys, these three kings, they were not there the day Jesus was born. They were not there the day the angels appeared to the shepherds and the shepherds came to see baby Jesus. See, the shepherds were there, not at the very time Jesus was born, but they were called in by the angels when they were. I love that statue. The detail on that is just wonderful. And here's our musician shepherd. So is this a shepherd? No, this is another king. Oh, I've got the king sets messed up. Okay, he's here. He's here. Oh, here is one of the shepherds. So, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph were there, and the shepherds came to visit after being visited by the angel Gabriel, which this is not Gabriel, and then a host of angels appeared to them. And so the angels were not at the nativity either. This is who was present when Jesus was born, or shortly after Jesus was born, on Christmas. So the shepherds left, went back to their sheep, and they went around telling people about the birth of the Messiah. They were the first missionaries. So, after that, Jesus moves, Joseph and baby Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus left. So what I'm going to do now is start reading in Matthew to continue the story. Now, this is how the Messiah was born. This is the birth of the Messiah in Matthew chapter 1, starting in verse 18. Mary was engaged to be married to Joseph, but before the marriage took place, while she was still a virgin, she became pregnant through the power of the Holy Spirit. Joseph, to whom she was engaged, which was a righteous man and did not want to disgrace her publicly, so he decided to break the engagement quietly. As he considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. And the angel said, "Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child within her was conceived by the Holy Spirit, and she will have a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." All of this occurred to fulfill the Lord's message through his prophet. "Look, the virgin will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son, and they will call his name Emmanuel, which means God is with us." When Joseph woke up, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded and took Mary as his wife. But he did not have sexual relations with her until her son was born, and Joseph named him Jesus. So, again, this was before Jesus was born. This happened. And Joseph married Mary before Jesus was born. That was posed as a question the other day somewhere. Then after that came after the birth of Jesus. He's already born. Then this happened. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. About that time, some wise men from the east lands traveled to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star as it rose, and we have come to worship him." King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard this, and as was everyone in Jerusalem. He called a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of religious law and asked, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" "In Bethlehem, in Judea," they said, "for this was what the prophet wrote. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, are not least among the ruling cities of Judea, for a ruler will come from you, whom you will be the shepherd for my people Israel." See, this was written I think this is Hosea. Yeah, in Hosea. Then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men and learned from them the time which the star first appeared. He told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child. And when you find him, come back and tell me so that I can go and worship him too. Is that what Herod really wanted to do? After the interview, the wise men went their way, and the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem. It went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy. They entered the house and saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down to worship him. And they opened their treasure chests and gave him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And it was time to leave. They returned to their own country by another route, for God had warned them in a dream not to return to Herod. So the three wise men came, but they did not do so in a manger. They came and they visited baby Jesus in a house. So I guess after Jesus was born, and people started going home from the census, Joseph and Mary were in the house, probably of relatives. And the three wise men came and brought their gifts. Now, this happened on Epiphany. Well, not really. It's complicated because the church deemed that December 25th was the birth of Christ. And what happened was the kings from the east were there at Epiphany after Jesus was born. And Jesus, Mary, and Joseph were there at the time he was born. The shepherds were there at the time he was born. And that was traditionally celebrated December 25th. Well, the Eastern Christian Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church, I believe, I'm not sure quite about that one. I don't have like a reference for that. But they were celebrating Jesus' birth on Epiphany, which is January 6th. So the Council of Tours in Tours, France, in the year 567 AD, decided that Christmas on December 25th would be the celebration of the birth of Christ, and that Epiphany would be the celebration of the kings. And January 5th is the 12th night, or the 12th day of Christmas, and then Epiphany on January 6th is its own holiday. So that's what was decided by the church. And the church also decided December 25th would be the day we celebrate Jesus' birthday. We do not know the actual date because of the shepherds in their fields. People believe, or it makes more sense, that the actual birthday of Jesus would be more in the spring than in the winter. But our celebration of Christmas has become commercialized, and people are celebrating Christmas during the Advent season. Now, during the Advent season, from either December 1st or December 3rd, depending upon your church and the religious history that you follow, we start Advent season, which a lot of blue stuff is put up because we are waiting for the birth of Christ. So we're building up to Christmas. But that Advent season is not Christmas tide or Christmas time. Christmas time starts Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is the first day of Christmas, and each subsequent day has a celebration and meeting through, the centuries. And it's all developed and it's all, evolved, if you will, into religious observances and feasts through the years. It's mainly the British that have held on to a lot of what's gone on, and the Germans started really celebrating Christmas in their old time tradition, not necessarily modern day, because it's modern day. And how many people know that the 12 days of Christmas start Christmas Day and end the 12th night? So, Germans in the past have celebrated the Christmas overall season starting with St. Martin's Day on November 10th and taking it to Epiphany. So for months they celebrated Christmas. And I don't know of any modern German families that still do that thing, just like British families and American families and families all over Europe, if they celebrate the 12 days of Christmas like we do in my household. So this is how we celebrate. We have gifts that we give Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and each day of the 12 days of Christmas. There's not just one big pile of presents that's opened on Christmas Eve and or Christmas Day. It is spread out for 12 days. And then we have a special meal, usually on Epiphany, on the last day. And to me, Christmas is no longer about Santa Claus, because the Santa Claus celebration of Christmas, especially in America, has become very commercialized and is even stretching out to Halloween, as far as when people start really preparing instead of Advent season. And the department stores and the online shopping people really love that people start celebrating early and getting all their Christmas stuff early. I enjoy the fact that we are different from the rest of society in that we know the wise men came on Epiphany and we celebrate afterwards. Not only has God blessed me with this knowledge, God's blessed me with a lot of discounts because I can go shop at discounted prices for my Christmas items. That's not why we celebrate it that way, but since we're talking about the commercialism of Christmas now, it's a blessing to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas. I mean, we spend all year, maybe some of us even are putting stuff in the closets in June, saving up for the Santa Claus and gift giving side of Christmas. Think about that. We are obsessed with Christmas so much commercially that we are stocking up for that one day that most people celebrated that one day almost all year long. And then in January, we're still buying Christmas stuff for the next year and putting that away. How much of our time and energy goes into that? So you're just going to celebrate at Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? We love talking about Jesus, talking about the narrative of what happened in Jesus's life from the beginning for those 12 days. And the next part of this I'll talk about next week, about what Jesus, Mary, and Joseph do and what King Herod, the horrible thing King Herod did. So I'll see you next week, and I hope you all are enjoying the story, the narrative of Jesus's early life from the very beginning.